I got a new crown recently and had a lot of trouble with flossing. It felt quite rough between the teeth and the floss shredded. A few days ago, the floss broke, and a white chip came away. Since then it has been easier to floss. Could the chip be part of the crown, or is it cement? Is this anything to be concerned about? The gum tooth is still a little sore. It had a root canal years ago.
Welcome. I will do my best to answer your question. I am not a great typist. Be patient and feel free to ask if anything is unclear. It is possible that the chip can be part of the crown. If you still have the chip, it will look a little like white glass. If it was cement, it would look more dull and not have as sharp of an edge. The question is, when you eat, does food get trapped between this crown and the adjacent tooth? If it does, then part of the crown has fractured. This is not dangerous to the tooth, but the crown would need to be remade. If you still have a good contact between the teeth, then you should be fine. The tooth should not have any pain associated with it whatsoever. The gum could be a little sore if the cement was trapped under the gum and you dislodged it. In any case, this should have been checked when the crown was cemented to avoid the problems that you are having. It does not sound serious though.
Hello Dr. Katz, thank you for your response. I think I just get the usual debris trapped between the teeth, but it's only been a couple of days since it happened. The chip looks dull white with a yellowish core. It is fairly sharp. If it is cement, then is there a danger that too much cement came away and now the margins of the tooth are exposed? I am concerned about bacteria getting in and decaying the tooth. Do you think I need to see the dentist and ask for an X-ray to check? I have had several crowns before and never encountered this problem.
I think what happens sometimes with these all-ceramic crowns is that they do not clean the excess cement away carefully. I do not think that you have a leakage problem. It would be more of an excess cement problem. When they press them into place, the excess cement pushes past the margins and solidifies. That is probably what you are seeing, but the margin should be sealed and you should be fine. If in fact you see two different colors in this chip, I would return to the dentist to have this crown remade and checked. The cement should be a uniform color. A chip would have very sharp edges, cement would not.
Hi Dr. Katz, thanks for your response. I'm really not that keen on asking the dentist to remake the crown, so I really hope it's just a piece of cement. It's actually a porcelain on metal crown, and on closer inspection, the chip has one side that is flat and white and shiny, and the rest of it is cream/yellow and bumpy. There is a sharp point to it. It's about 3 mm long, and over 1 mm at its thickest, measured from the shiny white part, assuming that could be the crown surface. Do different kinds of cements make different formations? I have it attached to pick. Are you able to refocus it? What do you think?
That is a rather large piece that you have photographed. Do you see any metal showing around the borders of this crown?
No, but I can't see between the teeth properly. I can floss now, and it feels less rough than before, though it gets caught on, I think, the crown's edges before it snaps in between the teeth. Is that normal? I don't have that experience with my other crowns. Do you think I need to have it x-rayed to check that the chip didn't in fact come from the crown? Thanks for your help.
The floss should not get trapped on the crown's edges. There should be a snap between the teeth and the floss should move smoothly against the edges with no catch. If the roughness is on the top where the catch is rather than around the gum line, that is a situation that can buffed out or polished. If the catch is at the gum line, that warrants a visit to the dentist because that is where the fit needs to be perfect. It does not sound like there is any need to x-ray the tooth at this point. The good part about these type of crowns is that there is a metal core underneath the porcelain that seals the tooth in and protects the tooth even if the porcelain gets fractured.
Hi Dr. Katz, thanks for your response. So do you mean the transition between crown and gum should be completely smooth? If the crown is a cap, would there not be a ridge of sorts, and perhaps that's what the floss is catching on at the gum line? It just catches briefly there if I do the C-shaped thing with the floss. Also, it's good to know that the metal is protecting the tooth, but if the porcelain is chipped, and it's a sizable chip, then wouldn't that area be a potential food trap between the teeth that could potentially lead to the decay of neighboring teeth?
A crown and a cap are the same thing. They are precision made in the lab to provide an exact smooth interface between the tooth margin where the tooth was prepped and the crown margin. There should be no space or gap at that juncture. Depending on exactly where the porcelain chipped, would determine whether there would be a food trap or not. If the chip were in the contact point between the teeth, that would allow food to lodge between them. You had mentioned that the floss snapped, which would indicate that the contact point was still intact. The crown attaches to the tooth and not the gum, so there is no transition there. Does any of this make sense? It does not appear like you are in any danger. Is there any other information that you need?
Thank you for your response, Dr. Katz. I just want to clarify what you mean by exact smooth interface. Do you mean that if you travel down the side of the crown vertically, that there should be no bump/ridge/overhang that marks where the crown ends and the tooth begins? Because when I push the floss down into the gum and like a C shape to wrap around the base of the tooth, there is a definite ridge that I need to get the floss over when I come back up again, but it feels like a smooth ridge, it doesn't get stuck there. Is this to be expected? Or does it mean the crown is a little big for the tooth, and that maybe that's why so much cement was used? If so, what can be done about it? The dentist assures me the margins are fully sealed. But I am still quite concerned as this is already the second time this tooth has been crowned. The previous crown was faulty and led to decay in just a few years. I don't want to have to go through this a third time.
I am sorry for the delay, but I am traveling and internet connection is spotty. If the floss moves smoothly down the surface of the crown, you should be fine. The place that you are referring to sounds like you are under the gum line, and then there will be a small area there where the floss may feel hooked, but this is just the contour of the tooth as it tapers into the root itself. It sounds as if you are fine. If there is any other information that you need, please ask. If not, can you kindly leave a rating so that we can maintain good quality control? Thank you.
If you have a health question and want to chat with a doctor now, visit justanswer.com/ythealth.